All right, so I still saw people doing this trend, and I wanted to hop on because the Ben 10 fandom has blown up, and I know I'll get views on this. Don't be all like, oh, he's just doing this for views, because I mean, what is anyone doing with anything on YouTube? That being said, I'm going to talk more about my own YouTube channel towards the end, but first, my playlist. I'm going to start with some preliminary stuff, but skip to this time code if you just want to get to the aliens. What is a Ben 10 playlist? Well, basically, the Omnitrix, the device that turns Ben into aliens, divides them into categories of 10, which the fandom calls playlists because of this throwaway line said in one out of the 200 plus episodes.
Merlini Sapiens, unlocked and available on playlist 5.
Basically, YouTubers have been giving their perspectives on what aliens they would want on their ideal playlist. And of course I would do this because what grown man wouldn't want to imagine being their favorite cartoon character from when they were a kid? Ben 10 had a major influence on my childhood. Just ask my family how annoying I made the show for them. He is my second favorite superhero of all time.
Yoo-hoo! Excuse me, can I come in this way, or do I have to break my own window?
So basic rules of this tend to be the aliens have to be from the show. You want to fill up spots to balance out the playlist for maximizing, well, being a superhero, and nobody's super OP like Alien X or Clockwork, which I can totally respect because I'm adding another rule for myself. I want to minimize collateral damage. Seriously. If I were a superhero, I would hate it because I can barely handle the responsibility of keeping my cholesterol in check. That being said, you're not going to see Heat Blast or NRG on this list because if I hypothetically had the Omnitrix, I wouldn't want to accidentally burn down a populated area just because I existed.
This would be so cool if it weren't so not cool.
Number 10 is... Vampire. There's honestly very few Omniverse aliens I like. I honestly hate Vampire. He's way too cheesy in my opinion. I don't like the name. I should have thought of a new name for Vampire because I don't like his name, but I unfortunately didn't. I feel like the Corrupturas are perfect. They enable him to possess other people. I feel like this would be a great use against enemies and just have them like stop hurting people or just make them turn themselves in. Of course, Ghost Freak can possess people, but I don't want to run the risk of Ghost Freak taking over.
Ben's not here.
Not to mention, I was horrified of Ghost Freak when I was a kid. Number 9 is...
Humongousaur! Yes!
I don't personally care about having a heavy hitter, but every playlist needs one because an Omnitrix wielder will more likely than not run into a lot of super strong foes that need their strength rivaled in order to defeat them. You need some muscle, and honestly, Humongousaur is better and stronger than Forearms, at least I think he is. I know there's debate over that. I feel like Humongousaur is obviously the better choice. Number 8 is...
Gravitack?
The number 8 spot was kind of between Gravitack and Lodestar, but I chose Gravitack because he can manipulate gravity and therefore move pretty much anything he wants with his mind. It makes him like extremely formidable and useful, and he is one of my favorite Omniverse aliens. I love the design, the voice, the original OP power coming in so late in the series. I know I said no OP aliens. I feel like Gravitack's kind of underrated, and he's obviously not up there with like Alien X or anyone like that. Number 7 is... He is one of my favorite UAF forms. Echo is the best clone alien that Ben had, so he's great for ganging up on enemies. He's got great, precise control over his ability to manipulate sound, and he's got such a versatile power set and fantastic feats. Not to mention, he looks dope, so he's an easy pick for my playlist. So I'm actually going to go a little bit off script for this one because I originally picked Wildvine for the next slot, but I realize that there's an alien with very similar abilities just down the list, and it doesn't really make sense to have such a repetitive alien on the list. But I thought about maybe I could use an alien that can fit into small spaces and get around. It did bring me back to the Omniverse aliens because there are definitely a handful of small Omniverse aliens. Led me to Pesky Dust because honestly I think he is the best one power-wise. Walkatrout and the Worst obviously have like such minimal to no abilities. Molestache I just don't like at all. But Pesky Dust has the ability to enter into people's dreams and their minds, and that is extremely influential. You can collect information. I know we never see Pesky Dust really do this, at least I don't think we do, but maybe he can also manipulate the inner thoughts of people. So I'm picking Pesky Dust for my number 6 spot. Number 5 is
Frankenstrike?
This is like a middle of the road heavy hitter. Frankenstrike I felt was widely underused, but he's probably one of the best electrical aliens. He only rivals Amphibian in my opinion, but I chose Frankenstrike because he has enhanced intelligence, so I'm also kind of counting him as like the obligatory like smart alien. He's also got electromagnetism, which is never brought up except in his debut episode. To my knowledge, Bro can run on anything made of metal, so he could run like upside down on a vent or something of the sort. He could run up a building. Very cool, and I think would be very useful. Number 4 is
The Mummy. Ah, great.
Snarrow. This is the one that I felt was too similar to Wildvine. Snarrow was a no-brainer to me because I just love his gimmick. I even made an original superhero character just based off his bandages and what he can do with them. So Snarrow is great for stretching and grabbing things. He can restrict an enemy by capturing them in his bandages. He's like a safe version of NRG because he's got the radioactive core, but he's not gonna hurt anyone unless he intentionally exposes the core. I forget if it's radioactive or what. I know it's something super dangerous and kind of, it's like maybe like alien radiation. The point is it can mutate. So for the number 3 slot, I was thinking of another original superhero character that I made whose ability is to teleport, because that is an ability I've always wanted. Now, there aren't any aliens in Ben's arsenal that had the ability to teleport. In fact, there's like this weird theme in the UAF era of Gwen having to expend a ton of energy just to teleport. Like, they treat teleporting like it's way too OP, which it can be, but we've got Clockwork, Atomics, Ben casually using Alien X, and what have you. Anyway, the closest thing to a teleporter in the Omnitrix is Ray. He's capable of just casually going light speed, which in and of itself is way too OP, but I pick him as the best speedster. Sorry to all the Accelerate fans and the one Fast Track fan, I'm picking Jet Ray. Number 2, I'm going with...
How about an upgrade?
I think Upgrade's on like everyone's playlist, if I'm being honest. He'd be perfect for manipulating and advancing technology, which is literally everywhere in this day and age. He'd be extremely versatile and in his element in 2024 America, which is where I am. I could edit and upload this video way faster if I had Upgrade. I'd have way too much power at my fingertips, and I'd love every second of it. Plus, I made my own little galvanic mechamorph that I like to sketch when I'm bored. I named him Glarbo, maybe Glorpo. I'm not married to the name. Make up a name in the comments. I don't know. Number 1 is
Cannonbolt!
Haven't seen him for a while.
I don't have a reason for picking Cannonbolt other than he is my all-time favorite Ben 10 alien. I can't even explain why. Maybe it's the yellow mixed with the iconic white and black. Maybe it's the sound effect of him rolling around. Maybe it's his impressive feats like surviving re-entry or defeating the Tick. But most of all, there's the fact that he was the 11th alien, and it signaled to nerdy children everywhere that Ben wasn't just limited to 10 aliens.
I can't believe I'm a new hero!
And where there's one more, who knows? There could be 100 more.
He could turn into anything imaginable, leading to this fandom to grow into adults and share on the internet every alien design they thought of when they were children. That being said, I'm gonna make another Ben 10 playlist video soon. You may be asking yourself, what? Why would he do that? Is he stupid? Yes. You see, I came up with a bajillion Ben 10 aliens ever since I saw Ben 10,000 as a kid and realized anything could be in the Omnitrix. From childhood to college, I came up with all sorts of aliens, and I would have loved to see them in the show. So imagine my shock when I saw fan artists doing designs that looked exactly like the original series. Now that I'm an adult and I can't afford rent, I saved up my money and commissioned Mike9 to make my own playlist of original aliens I came up with over the years. So more on that in a future video. Stay tuned if you care about that. And stay tuned if you care about any of the following. Subscribe, please check out the rest of my channel, I don't care if you leave a like or a comment or ring the bell. I care if you just feel like watching. I've had a passion for filmmaking ever since I was a kid, so you can find years worth of skits on this channel.
But if I wasn't a real doctor, then would I have your chart? Looks like you're dying. Guess I won't need this anymore.
A few short films, and because I love Jesus Christ, I've got a few videos talking about the Christian faith as well. Feel free to check that out. Could be a fun time, could not be. I don't know. You're your own person. You got free will. Do what you want. Bye.